Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I've got 4 videos for you today. The first one is with Judge Washington in Michigan. The second one is Judge Lee in Kansas. And the next one is Judge or Magistrate Ulrich in Michigan. It's a traffic one. And then the last one I put in because it is a crazy commissioners meeting, and it's in Harris County, and there is a judge I guess she's a commissioner, but she is the most rude and obnoxious person in the entire room, and she's a judge. You'd think she'd have some, decorum, but she doesn't. She's completely obnoxious. So I'll let you guys watch.
All right, the court will recall the case of the state of Michigan versus Kayla P, case number 25S00250.
Tiffany Woods for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Davi Liba for Ms. P. Ms. P, could you unmute and state your name, ma'am?
Kayla P.
Thank you. We're here for sentencing today. Have you had a chance to review the pre-sentence investigation report with your client?
Hey, Your Honor, we have no factual modifications. We'd be asking the court to accept the recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Woods?
Judge, I've also had an opportunity to review the PSIR recommendation. I know that her parents are present on Zoom. They would like to make a statement to the court. And I would just like the court to be aware that in that interview, she basically denies having made this assault, and basically said that it's all her mother's fault and she had to spray her mother in the face to protect herself. So we're asking the court for 18 months of probation, not the 12 months of probation. And I would ask the court to allow the victims to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll start with Ms. Naomi P, who is the mom and was the victim of this particular assault. And I know that the brother was present. I read the police report so that everybody is aware of the fact that I read the report, both the pre-sentence investigation report very closely, as well as the police report, so that I could get Mr. Dabrowski, you may leave your case. We're all set. I read the report so that I could get a clear understanding of what was reported to the police in terms of what happened that day versus what Ms. P is saying in terms of what happened that day. Because I hope that the community is aware that I'm very attuned to whether people are accepting responsibility for their actions or not. It makes a huge difference for me if people can acknowledge their wrongdoing and try to rectify their wrongdoing versus folks who decide that they are going to discount what they actually did and make excuses for it. So I really do want to know what happened that day based on what the mom said to the police and what the brother said to the police. It seems fairly clear to me, but I want to hear further from the folks at that home as to the environment. So Miss Naomi P, I'm very pleased that you're here today, and I welcome your comments.
Thank you, Your Honor. I wrote out my victims. I had some deep thought over the last weeks about what happened, and I wrote out what I was going to say. And thank you for allowing me to express my what happened. My name is Naomi, and I am the mother of Kayla, the defendant. Unfortunately, Kayla had unfavorable living conditions for quite some time. She reached out to her dad and I regarding coming to live with us. Kayla had been living with my husband and I for about 3 weeks. A couple of days before the incident, her 3 children were staying in our home as well. On June 7, 2025, my daughter Kayla arrived home from work and proceeded to prepare her children for a bath after fussing with her dad about taking care of her children and being her responsibility. During an attempt to have a discussion with Kayla about the needs of her children and the conditions of our basement, she used profanity and yelled at me, saying, F you. During this argument, I proceeded down my basement stairs and approached her. She sprayed a chemical fragrance in my face. The fragrance caused blurred vision in my eyes. As I attempted to get the can out of her hands, we fell to the floor wrestling. She then started pulling my hair. I began pulling hers. At some point during all the commotion, she said, I don't have a mother. I quote. She also insulted my educational accomplishments and my faith. She said, and I quote, you want to be a sane nurse? That's a nurse examiner. Huh, I wouldn't want your help. You call yourself a Christian? Some Christian, end quote. Her three children were present and witnessed the entire incident. Fortunately, I did not have to seek medical attention for the chemical exposure. The only injury that I suffered was emotional and mental distress, which was a constant, painful reminder of what happened. The emotional and mental trauma has been far more difficult to bear. Her words, I quote, I do not have a mother, were incredibly hurtful and continue to echo in my mind. The fact that her children were there to witness her disrespect and violence has caused me deep emotional pain. I feel betrayed and violated in my own home, a place that should be a sanctuary. Her insults about my profession as a sane nurse were particularly damaging, as I have dedicated my career to helping others in vulnerable situations. Her attack on my Christian faith, calling me weird, and telling my mother, my husband, and I are a cult was direct insult or assault to my identity and beliefs, which are a source of strength and comfort for me. I am deeply concerned about the trauma her children, my grandchildren, experience. They are victims of domestic violence, both in their mother's relationships and now by witnessing her actions. Children who see this kind of behavior are more likely to struggle with mental health issues later in life. My greatest fear is that they will internalize this behavior and see it as normal. This incident has caused a significant divide in our family. It has shattered my sense of security and trust. I worry about her and her children's well being and the cycle of violence they are a part of. The family relationships are now further strained, and the healing process seems nearly impossible. My daughter must own the decisions she makes and take responsibility for her actions. She needs to understand that her behavior has consequences, not just for herself, but for everyone around her, especially her children. I want her to understand the gravity of what she has done. My primary hope is not to see my daughter punished, but to see her get the necessary help she needs to cope and heal from whatever unfortunate situations she has encountered in her life. I believe she is struggling with her own mental health issues, and I want to see her receive the professional help she needs to break this cycle of violence and anger. I want her to heal so she can be a healthy mother for her children and prevent them from being victims of mental health issues in the future. I urge the court to consider the long-term impact of this incident on my daughter, my grandchildren, and me. I ask the court to mandate a appropriate course of action that will lead to my daughter taking accountability and receiving the mental health and domestic violence counseling she so desperately needs. Thank you, Judge Washington, for allowing me to take this time to express my feelings.
Thank you, Ms. P. I noticed that there was a Byron P. and the father. Who is it? Did anyone else want to speak today?
Didn't want to talk over you, Judge. I was just waiting to address
Thank you.
our man.
You
Well,
may
I'm sorry.
proceed.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Byron P. I'm the husband of 27 years of my wife, Naomi, and our daughter, Kayla. And it saddens me. I just simply had to wipe tears from my eyes that my family is here in a courtroom dealing with something that should have never even happened. You know, I take a lot of focus in on our grandchildren, and I just think it's important for them to learn things that are, beneficial for their age. And we were watching, for example, an age appropriate education for them. And I was just more or less trying to do an assessment to see what they knew and what they didn't know, and just was going to help them out with it. And there was a comment that one of the children made, and my daughter was in the other room, and she said, "Yeah, we know about that. I'm taking care of it." I just said, "Wow." The intervention. It's that's how she addressed me. She let her children hear that, and it was something that was of extreme importance. I think it's extremely important for the children to receive help. It takes a village, and I really want them to know that they're loved and they're cared for, and I want the best for all of them because I love them, and I love Kayla, and Kayla would constantly tell me that I wouldn't allow her to parent, and this particular day, Kayla worked a 2 to 8 shift. She got off, and I would assume she would have got home by about 20 minutes. And if she had something else to do, I would think a responsible parent should call whoever has her children and simply let them know what was going on. It became to 8:45, and then I took the initiative to call Kayla. And that was negative to begin with. She just started cussing at me and stuff. And you know, I love my daughter dearly, and it saddens me that the communication goes that way. And Kayla, I mean, it hurts me sadly because she would tell you something bad about certain individuals, and then you'll see her with them the following day. And I just said, what kind of life is that? My wife and I, we were trying to get a job for my son. He wasn't interested. And we both said, wow, it would be a wonderful job for Kayla. It was a skilled trades job. And I really wanted to tell her about it. And I've been trying to contact her, and she wouldn't answer the phone. I left messages for her. And it just saddens me because we really want the best for Kayla. Because it really hurts my heart to be in the courtroom right now dealing with family matters that we shouldn't even have, and I'm at a loss of words. I'm embarrassed that our family is here, and I'm watching my daughter putting her head down. She's got these facial gestures and all that, and that's uncalled for. She's loved. I mean, even at church, we had big people praying for her, just wanting the best for her, and they love her kids, and it's rather embarrassing that we have to be here in a courtroom to talk about something that shouldn't have happened. I love my daughter. I want to try to move forward in a positive manner, but I just don't like this immaturity of like not wanting to talk to your parents. We love her, and I want the best for her. And it really saddens me that we're in a courtroom and this is going on. I just want the best for my daughter and her children. And Kayla, I'm sorry that we are here because it didn't have to be this way. All I really wanted to do is to see if you would call me to be responsible. You wasn't that. You disrespected me the way you talked to me. And you just, you it, it's just sad, Kayla. We have to do better. Even after court is done, I'm still going to be your father. That's still going to be your mother. And we're still going to be a family. And we should be able to move forward as responsible adults. I'm looking at you right now. I'm just like, wow, do you even take it seriously? We're in a courtroom, Kayla. Thank you, Judge, for letting me talk. I don't want to hold your time, but I appreciate you allowing me to address the court.
Thank you, sir. Anything else from the prosecution today?
No, Judge.
All right,
Your Honor, I would like to provide some additional elocution, if I may.
you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. So firstly, Ms. P did indicate to me that Mr. P was trying to contact her. She was not returning those calls because she believes it would be a violation of the no contact order that she is subject to in this case. So that's why Ms. P has indicated to me she did not return those calls. With regard to the issue of Ms. P taking responsibility for her actions, I think Ms. P, it's fair to say, has some maturing to do. And part of that process is coming to grips with taking responsibility for your actions. She's pled guilty in this matter, and that's taken the first step to taking responsibility for her actions. I think she's going to comply with the recommended program in this case, which will help her develop those skills further. So we would ask that the court continue the original recommendation of 12 months probation, which of course can be extended if Ms. P fails to comply with her obligations.
May I comment, Judge, if you don't mind? To the best of my knowledge, Kayla and my wife had the incident. It was just happening in the home where I was in. She didn't have a no contact clause with me. It was with my wife. So me calling is perfectly fine.
Thank you, sir. So, couple of things before I go to Ms. P. One is, before Dad even said anything, and while Mom was talking mainly, Ms. P's body language was very off-putting. She's turning her head when Mom's talking. She's essentially giving all the body language that one gives when they want someone to stop talking. As I watched her while Mom spoke myself. The one thing I think I got out of what Mom said that may not justify, because there's no justification for it, but at least frame why Miss P thought Mom was charging at her, is because she was cursing at her mother. So it is likely that Mom may have been charging at her when you cuss at your mom in her house. But it doesn't justify that you're going to spray your mother with anything and fight your mom and pull her hair. The disrespect that I'm hearing is just outlandish, is the word I look at and think of. And the fact that you don't know that and you don't understand that is extremely problematic. So is there anything else you want to say before I go to your client, Mr. Lebo?
I think I don't have anything further, Your Honor, no.
Ms. P, is there anything you would like to say today?
Well, it was to my knowledge that this was sentencing, and it was my time to allow you to hear my side of the story.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
I said it was to my understanding that this was sentencing and it was my chance to let you hear my side of the story, but I shared my side of the story and um it just won't happen again.
Ms. P,
Yes, Your Honor.
do you agree that your parents allowed you to come back home with 3 children and stay in their basement?
Um, I necessarily, honestly, I don't even know how to answer that question.
You don't know how to answer whether they allowed you to come back and stay in their basement with 3 children?
No, it did. It's a lot of missed context clues,
Ms.
but
P, the judge is
I'm
just asking you a yes or no question.
then I guess yes.
What is the hesitation in that?
I got placed in an unfortunate situation, so I'm just trying to pay the consequences.
I don't know what you mean by you got placed in an unfortunate circumstance. I don't know what that even means.
Well, Your Honor, it's not much convincing I can give you anymore. So I really feel like I can't even tell you my side of the story anymore. Everybody's minds got made up.
That's your choice. All of this is because it's your choice.
Well, to be honest, what happened was I was providing for my children. Really, it was just me staying there. And spirit of the moment, my children was supposed to come there because some other thing happened regarding my previous home, and a lot of other things got messed up with what I had set up for my children. So I was just trying to have everything set back up for my children. They got placed over there, and everybody said they wanted to help me, but when the time came down to it, it just seemed like it was a issue. So I was necessarily trying to do the best I could as a single parent, going to my payroll job and being a dasher on the side. Now, my children came there with all of their belongings that their dad had packed up, and it was some items that they needed. Now, me going to my payroll job, I can't touch those funds yet until payroll, until I get my paycheck. So I just said, okay, when I got off of work, I made the necessary thing to call my parents, let them know, hey, I called my dad first, actually, and let him know, because I knew my children was over there. I just said, I'm going to go dashing for an hour. That's it. I guess he didn't like the fact I said that. And I was thinking, why is he upset? Is my mom not there? Because I understand his health and everything. It's not that good. So he needs some extra help at home. So I was going to consider like, okay, maybe my mom isn't there. Maybe that's why. But he said she was there. And so he placed her on the phone and I told her the same thing. I said, hey, I just called dad and let him know that I just got off of work and I'm going dashing for an hour. So it was some type of communication on my end. If it wasn't enough, I don't know what they wanted me to do. But after I finished my dashing, and while I was driving, it was just all these phone calls of me getting blown up by them. So I figured what's going on. I had to pull over on the side of the road. I explained this to the police too. I'm like, you're not supposed to be on the phone and driving. That's illegal. So when I figured out what was wrong, I said, I'll be home when I can. Because I said, you guys have to go dashing with me to see that you don't get done at the time that you get done. You could be in the next city or wherever. So when I made it there, it was just constant arguments about the type of jobs that I do. And they said that the kids needed to be wound down, but I thought it was still early enough because I got there around 10. So I said, well, you guys said I'm grown, that they're my children. So I said, I can just take them with me and finish dashing, getting this money because I was going to use the money from door dashing to go get their necessary items that they need, since that's money that I can touch right away instead of waiting for a paycheck. And that's what I let everybody know, that that was what type of time I was on. So then when they said, well, don't you think they need to be wound down? It's late. I'm like, well, to my understanding, when I came into the house, TV was on, they were up alive in the living room. So I was just like, okay, well, cool. They said they needed to be bathed. I said, well, let me go take them downstairs and get them bathed. It was, I said, I'm a parent, I understand it. But my mom did say, well, if you are a parent and you know that, why would you need to say that we said that they need to be bathed? So to my understanding, while I was at work, it wasn't pitched in for any type of help that they could have got bathed, which they have done before, but it's not their responsibility. I'm their mother. So it's really my responsibility. I understand that. But as I was going downstairs to get my kids bathed, my mother was talking about the level of work and how I don't have a career job like her, and I'm Bath and Body Works and door dashing wasn't gonna make do in life. So I just simply told her, well, Mom, I don't think that was the Christian thing to do. That wasn't God. And she just lost it and was screaming at the top of her lungs saying I needed to get the HELL out of her house. And she charged down the stairs. And me being a victim of people putting their hands on me, I'm backing up. I'm not going to fight my mother. That's my mother. And whatever differences we have, that's my mother, Your Honor. And I refuse to put my hands on my mother. So by me backing up, there's no outlet. And she pushed me down the corner and she punched me in the side of my head. And that's how I grabbed the deodorant spray to spray her out of self-defense. I did not want to put my hands on her. That was the nearest thing that I grabbed. I didn't know I was going to do it. And I apologize because now I'm sitting in your courtroom today, paying for my consequences. But I also was not going to call the police on my mom either. That's my mother. So my nature was, after that incident happened, my brother, he went down the stairs and pulled her off of me, told her to stop. And I instantly just told my kids to get dressed. It's no longer safe over here. We need to go. And that's how I said I was going to leave out of their house. I grabbed all my things, everything, because it is some stuff that I have to set up a civil standby to go grab. But I did grab whatever I could to get up out of the house. My dad told me to stay put. The last time he told me to stay put, it didn't end well. So I really just wanted to get out and get my kids out so I could take them to their dad, where I felt like, okay, they feel safe and I'm happy that they're over there and safe. So my kids shared that they didn't want the police to come. I said, police isn't going to come because I'm not going to call them. I just want us to get out of here. And sure enough, when we were leaving out the door, an officer was on the porch. He asked, was I okay? I said, everything's fine. We were just leaving. And then another officer approached me and my children at my car and said I couldn't leave yet. I asked him, I said, why? He said he doesn't know yet. And I said, well, sir, am I being arrested? And he said he didn't know yet. So that's how all of this happened. And I'm just trying to pay for my consequences since there's no outlet again now. And like I said, I apologize for everything that happened. And I'm sorry that it happened this way. And I just wanted everything to be good. So that's my side of the story, Your Honor. So that's why I'm here, listening to everybody. I heard what my mom said. I heard what my dad said. I'm taking it in. And I apologize to both of them as the creators of me.
So did you say F you to your mother?
No, but I did say that about the same because I felt like, why did you punch me in my head? And you told me that you used me as inspiration to be a sane nurse. So I did say that. That is valid that I said I wouldn't want to get help from her.
These situations are incredibly difficult. I also know that you're an extremely smart young lady. And you can sit here and give me a version of events that seems very rational and reasonable. And I wasn't there.
And I'm just hurt because I didn't expect my mom to do that to me. And that's my mother. And I'm not trying to like give anybody a sob story, Your Honor, but how she said that she had emotional trauma from that. I had emotional trauma as well as her daughter because I never expected that to happen. And I just wanted to pay the consequences. I just wasn't gonna fight my mom, and I wasn't gonna call the police on my mother. Whatever difference
But you did fight your mother. You're gonna say you weren't going to, but you did. You fought your mom. You literally sprayed her in the face. You literally pulled her hair. Those
I
things
didn't pull,
you don't acknowledge pulling her hair either.
she didn't even pull my hair. That's why I didn't know why she said that. My hair wasn't pulled and her hair wasn't pulled. But what happened was she charged at me and pushed me down in the corner and punched me in the side of my head, causing me to grab something that's near me, which was the deodorant spray. I just sprayed her to get her off of me. But my brother pulled her off. And that's the only physical, well, not physical, because you guys call that a weapon, but that was it. And I grabbed my stuff and I tried to leave the scene because I didn't want to be there anymore. I didn't feel safe being over there. And I didn't feel like my children was safe being over there either. Because it was done in front of them.
So who's Brandon?
And that's my brother. That's who pulled her up off of me. He had just came home from work.
Yeah, Brandon says that the argument started over Naomi telling Kayla about not helping around the house, nothing to do with your job. And you responded by spraying her in the face with a white canister of spray. And then Naomi attempted to grab that spray from you, and then you ended up falling over and started wrestling on the ground. So you sprayed your mom in the face. And then you were pulling your mom's hair. So not only did she say that, but an independent witness says that.
He wasn't even in the basement when all of this took place.
And that's when Naomi punched you to get you to stop pulling her hair. So I don't know if you're delusional or what. Like, do you really believe these things that you're saying? Because their version of the events talking to separate people are the same without talking to each other. Then you go out to the car and you get a taser. And you're sitting here telling me that you didn't intend to fight your mother. You were going to tase your mother.
Yeah, those items fell out of my bag as I was transporting to the car. And I told that to the officer.
Out of your mouth that you were going to tase your mother because you have the right to defend yourself. So Brandon's lying on you too. Everybody's lying on you. Right, Ms. P?
Your Honor, I apologize to everybody, and I will take the 18 months of this probation because nobody was there, and I explained my side of the story. Everybody explained their side of the story, and I said I was taking my consequences.
Yeah. You know, your father's correct and your mom's correct. That the people who are going to suffer the most in this are the grandchildren. Because they're witnessing this. They're witnessing the devolution of your family as it happens in real time. And I believe you believe what you're saying. That's the hard part. Is how do you get through to someone who actually believes what they put in their head? You believe it. And stop rolling your eyes at me.
I just had something in my eyes. No, I
You
apologize.
have an excuse for every single thing, Miss P.
Okay.
I'm not your mom. And I will put you in jail. You're gonna need to learn how to be more respectful. So you say that you called your dad. Your dad said that he hadn't heard from you and he had to call you.
Is there a way we could pull up phone records? Like, can I go to my phone company and pull up like phone records to prove that I called?
Sure, you can do
Okay.
that.
I will do that first thing after I leave court because I have to go pay my phone bill today anyway. So I will
Okay.
pull that up and see if I could drop that off to the court.
Well, you know, the truth is what happened there matters to me a lot. So Dad, is it your testimony here today that she didn't call you when she got off the first job?
That's correct. I was just looking at the time, like I had stated to the court, my daughter kept accusing me of not letting her parent. And so I was trying to give her the initiative to contact. And any responsible parent who has someone watching their children will allow them to know, hey, I'm off of work, I'm on my way there, establish some type of communication. When it got to be 8:45, I was like, where's Kayla at? And one of the things is she stated that she dashes a lot. And that was just, I was talking to my son about that because he does a lot of dashing, and I said, but every time she turned around, I'm dashing, I'm dashing, I'm dashing, I'm dashing. And the lady that even her the kid's father, mother, the kid's father's mother, um, she said it the next day. She was over there and they were gone somewhere. And Kayla told us for hours about how he's a terrible person and she don't want to be with him and this, that, and the other. So Kayla has a history of saying things that try to convince you that this is how she is, but it's nothing like that. And I hate to say that, Kayla, but it's the truth. And I know it's going to be consequences now. You probably won't let us see the kids and things like that. And I heard you use the excuse that you didn't want to contact me, knowing it was you wasn't supposed to contact your mother. I mean, you knew that just as well as I do, Kayla. And I just said, okay, I'm listening to you. The fact of the matter is, Kayla, we're in a court of law. This isn't just you talking to anybody. We're in a court of law. Think about things carefully before you say it. Don't let things get used against you. You're hurting me. Look at your facial gestures right now. I'm just like, come on, Kayla. Please, babe. Be better than that.
So, we're here because you sprayed your mom in the face, pulled your mom's hair, and I've listened very carefully to you to try to see exactly where you're coming from, and you have apologized here, but then accuse your parents of lying about basically everything that they've said today, which is pretty serious to me. Like your dad said, you're in the court of law right now. And you're looking at an opportunity to get HIDA, which is a first offender program that allows for this to be erased off your record. And I believe that everybody should, if they have an opportunity, take advantage of that opportunity so that they don't have a record, because it limits your possibilities in life if you have a record going forward. So I don't want you to have a record. But I also want you to accept responsibility for your actions. And if you seriously are not able to see what you're doing, I don't know how you change that. So what I'm considering right now is whether I'm gonna finish the sentencing today or take a look at these records to see if you're telling me the truth or a lie, because I don't like anyone lying to me. I am, for the most part, I'm gonna do the sentencing today. I'm gonna file a recommendation of the probation department for the most part. I'm gonna sentence you up to 93 days in the Washtenaw County Jail. Credit for the 1 day that's served. The 92 days are suspended. I'm gonna put you on probation for 18 months. You'll be eligible for early discharge once you complete half of that. So at 9 months, if you've done everything you're supposed to do. Fines and court costs in this particular case for a total of $525. You to meet with probation when and where directed, including any and all home visits. You to make earnest efforts to maintain legitimate employment. You to complete the Class A Living Skills CBT program within 90 days. There's no assaultive or threatening behavior towards anyone. You to submit to, pay, and be responsible for random drug and alcohol tests as requested by the court, probation, or any treatment provider. There's no use of alcohol, marijuana, illegal drugs, drug paraphernalia, firearm components, ammunition, or other dangerous weapons. You'd also get a mental health assessment done. And your HIDA is granted. I'm gonna do a review in 90 days. I'm seriously wondering whether you have a defiance disorder. That is what I'm concerned about. Oppositional defiance disorder.
What is that?
Where you just don't want to follow the rules that anybody gives you. Like you want to work your own pace, do what it is that you want to do. And you defy when people tell you what it is that you should be doing. So I'd like for CMH to look at that and tell me whether or not you have that. And if you have it, I am hopeful that you will work towards getting over it. If you have it, it will show up here because I am a person of authority that you would then be defined. So I hope that you don't have it and that you don't defy what I'm asking you to do. I would hope that you would not try to keep the children away from parents that seem to be very loving and caring for you and who would care for your children. As a parent, you get to parent your own kids. That's all true. But as a parent, you also need to listen to your own parents because they've been through it with you. And they can be source of guidance. But that's your choice. I'll see you back here for a review. I'm going to do a review in 60 days on October 20th, 2025. And that'll be at 10 a.m. At that time, I want to see these, I'm ordering you to provide the court records, the phone records that you're telling me that are true. So please provide me those phone records showing that you say you called your dad.
You got it.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
You need to contact the probation department tomorrow after 9:00 a.m. Do you have their phone number?
Yes, Your Honor.
Call them tomorrow after 9, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good luck to the family.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. God bless you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You're all set.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. This is State of Kansas versus Heather Hunt, case number 25 CR 79. Counsel state their appearances, please.
May it please the court, the state appears by Jill Gillette, County Attorney.
Richard Paul on behalf of Heather Hunt, who appears via Zoom at the Greenwood County Jail.
All right, counsel, I have this scheduled as a preliminary hearing. Are the parties ready to proceed?
We are.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. State going to present evidence, or was there a, I thought there was going to be a motion. Perhaps I'm thinking of the wrong case.
No, there was a motion on the 130. There was a prior motion for continuous, but not for today.
Very well. But I'll your first witness, Ms. Gillette.
Your Honor, we'll be calling Abby Euler.
All right, Ms. Euler, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Very well. You are under oath, and counsel, you may proceed.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Abigail Euler.
And Abigail, do you prefer to be called Abigail or Abby?
Abby.
Abby, how old are you?
I am.
And do you know the defendant in this matter?
Yes.
And who's the defendant in this matter?
My mother.
And do you see her with us today?
Yes.
Can you describe for us what screen she's on?
For me, she's on the top left.
Okay. Was there a name on it?
It says Greenwood County Jail.
Okay. And can you describe for us what she's wearing?
It seems to be like a white and gray striped t-shirt.
Okay. Could the record reflect that she's identified the defendant, Your Honor?
And it will so reflect.
And all right, Abby, are you a listed witness in another case here in Greenwood County involving your mom?
Yes.
Okay. And I know some of this can be difficult for you, so if you need a minute, you just let us know, okay?
Okay.
And in that case, I don't know if you remember the case number, but are you a witness that's been subpoenaed by the state for that case?
Yes.
Your Honor, we'd ask the court to take judicial notice of Greenwood County 2024 TR 325. It's a DUI case against Ms. Hunt, in which Abigail Euler is a subpoenaed and listed endorsed witness.
There's no objection, Your Honor.
All right, and that case number again, 24 TR.
TR 325. 2024 TR 325.
Very well, the court will take judicial notice of that case.
And Abby, are you aware that there's a no contact order for you and your mom?
Yes.
And have you had any contact with your mom that you initiated?
No.
Okay. I want to talk about contact your mom has initiated with you. Has your mom approached you since that case was filed?
Yes.
And how many times has she approached you since that case was filed?
I want to say at least twice.
And when was the last time that she tried to get in touch with you?
It was graduation for the high schoolers at the high school.
Okay. And do you recall what day graduation was?
I don't recall the date.
Okay. And on graduation day, what was going on that day?
I was there playing in the band for the seniors who were graduating.
After you played in the band, where did you go?
I was going to go see my grandmother at the nursing home.
Is your grandmother a resident of the nursing home?
She was, yes.
And then was your father supposed to meet you there later?
Yes.
And when you left the school, which direction did you go?
Could you explain that question more to me? What do you mean, which direction?
When you left the school, was there a specific street you were on, or were you heading north or south?
I was going down 7th.
Is that here in Eureka?
Yes.
And as you were walking down 7th Street, what led to the interaction with your mom?
She pulled up in a vehicle next to me when I was walking.
And what kind of a vehicle was it? Do you remember?
It was darker colored, and I want to say it was like a Suburban almost.
And what do you remember what she said to you?
It was mostly her just screaming, Abby, Abby, I love you, I'm proud of you, you're beautiful, just things like that.
And did you turn around or look at her or anything?
I turned around and I looked at her, and then I turned her back around and just kept walking.
Did you respond to her in any way?
No.
So do you recall when the jury trial for your mom was set to begin?
It was supposed to be July 22nd, but then
And
it got moved.
that was the most recent date. Was there a date in May for the jury trial to begin as well?
Not that I know of.
So you don't remember if you were subpoenaed in May?
No, I know it got moved to October, but I haven't been served any paperwork.
Okay. Your Honor, I would ask the court to take notice that May 21st was the misdemeanor jury trials, and that the case 24 TR 325 was scheduled to begin jury trial on May 21st of 2025.
Mr. Paul,
No objection.
so noted.
And do you recall the time before that your mom had contact with you?
Objection, relevance.
The time before was also right before the jury trial, the time before.
I'll give you
Yes.
some latitude.
Were you under subpoena at that time to testify against your mom?
Yes.
And did she start trying to have contact with you that time?
Yes.
Do you recall what date she tried to have contact with you?
No.
Was the jury trial coming up pretty soon to that date?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And was it a similar circumstances that she started trying to have contact with you under?
Yes.
Can you just briefly tell us what happened that time? It doesn't have to be in detail.
It's really eerie. I don't remember it that well.
Okay.
I just remember her saying similar things and trying to.
Were you also playing in the band that day too?
Yes.
Was that at a parade?
Yes.
All right. I will pass this witness to the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Paul?
Yes, thank you. Miss Bueller, uh, when your mom was talking to you when you were in the black SUV, your previous
I'm gonna object. She wasn't in the black SUV, Miss
I said
Yu.
when her mom was in the black SUV. You
Proceed.
stated previously that your mom was in a black or a dark colored Suburban, correct?
Yes.
Was she driving?
No.
Okay. Do you know the person who was driving?
No.
Okay. And your previous testimony was that she was saying that you're beautiful, I'm proud of you, I love you,
Yes.
things of that nature. Is that correct?
Yes.
At any time did she ask you to lie or testify differently in any of the cases that you've been subpoenaed on?
No.
Okay. Did you did you think she was just trying to tell you how proud she was of you, like motherly things?
I didn't know what to think. All I knew was that it was wrong.
Okay. And that was because of the previous uh, no contact order, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe that you made a statement to police, to Deputy Cordell. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And um, and your previous testimony was that you decided not to talk to her at all, correct?
Correct.
And after that, did she say anything else against to you after you
No.
walked away?
No.
How long do you think that interaction was, Abby? I mean, Miss Euler. 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute? Just
Probably a minute.
okay. I just want your best guess. Okay. All right. Did you think that by her doing this, she was trying to get in your good graces?
Yes.
You did. Okay.
Yes.
Do you think that she was trying to, did she ever ask you to lie for
No.
her? Has she ever in the past asked you to lie for her?
Before this case was started or after,
During
before or
during
during?
during the pendency of this DUI case.
No.
Okay. So this whole time she's just been telling you basically what a parent would tell a child if they had contact, correct? I love you, you're beautiful,
Correct.
things of that nature. Nothing anything with like ill intent.
No.
Okay. And you don't remember the days that these happened?
I don't remember the specific dates. No.
Okay. But you did say that one of the times happened on 7th Street.
The most recent one happened right on the corner from where the school connected to 7th Street. Yes.
Okay. All right. Judge, I don't think I have any further questions.
Ms. Gillette?
Abby, has your mom tried to have any contact with you that wasn't near a jury trial?
No.
And were the only time, so the prior one with the parade, it was in about the time of the jury trial in October?
So the jury trial in October is this year, 2025. That's just what they told me that it was going to happen. The whole thing with the parade happened back May. It was around Christmas time. It was our Christmas parade. So it was similar things. She was saying similar things. She was just screaming and jumping up and down and making a scene, if you would.
And this time it was right before the jury trial you were subpoenaed for in May.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Recross, Mr. Paul?
Yes. Let's go back to that Christmas. She said the same things to you at that time, correct? I love you. I'm proud of you, things of that nature.
It was more of a, I know you, that's my daughter, screaming up and down and jumping and
Okay.
pointing.
so that was Proud Things, right?
Yes.
And I believe, I don't know if Miss Gillette asked you this or not, but there wasn't any pending actions at that time against Miss Hunt at that time, were there?
What do you mean pending actions?
That you'd been subpoenaed for?
I was, yes, I had been subpoenaed.
Okay. And so back in December, when you were talking to her, it was still basically the same subpoena that we're on now?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, I don't have any further questions.
Very well. May this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Euler, you are excused from your subpoena. You're off the witness stand at this time. You may remain or go as you wish. Any other witnesses, Ms. Gillette?
Yes, we'll be calling Deputy Taylor Cordell next.
Deputy, if you remove your cap, please. This is a courtroom proceeding.
My apologies.
You raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You're under oath. Counsel, you may proceed.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Taylor Cordell.
And how are you employed?
I work for the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office as a full-time road deputy.
And how long have you been so employed?
About 8 years.
And were you the officer dispatched to investigate this matter?
Yes.
What was the date you were dispatched?
This would have been May 19th of this year.
And the where did you respond to talk with Abigail?
The Greenwood County Sheriff's Office.
Did she come there?
Yeah, she was there with her dad, Travis Euler.
And were you aware that there was a jury trial coming up on Ms. Hunt's criminal case?
I knew it was coming up. I wasn't entirely sure when, but after speaking with Travis Euler, I realized it was this week or the week that this was reported.
And was the 19th the same day as graduation here in Eureka?
Yes, that's my understanding.
And did you try to locate Heather Hunt that day?
Yes, I did most of the night.
And were you able to locate her?
No.
And had there been prior issues with contact with Abby?
You mean in addition or separate from the incident on that day?
Yes, separate from the incident on that day.
Judge, I'm going to object on relevance.
I'm going to allow it. You may answer.
Okay. So my understanding, and I'm not I wasn't involved in this, but earlier in the year.
Then I'm going to object on speculation, Judge.
Sustained.
Had there been prior reports taken by other officers?
I believe so.
And did you look up and receive copies of orders from the prior DUI that said there was no contact with Abby?
Yes, I verified those on this day.
And so Ms. Hunt would have had knowledge that she was not to be having contact with the minor child who's a witness?
Yes.
I believe I will pass this witness to the defense.
Mr. Paul?
Questions? No questions.
Very well. May this witness be excused?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deputy. You're excused from your subpoena.
Okay, thank you.
There, go as you wish. Any other witnesses?
Your Honor, we'll be calling Travis Euler.
Mr. Euler, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, there appears to be some lag time, so if council can wait a little bit of time for a response when you ask a question. Mr. Euler, you are under oath. Ms. Gillette.
Could you please state your name for the record?
My name's Travis Marshall Euler.
And how do you know the defendant in this matter?
Heather's my ex-wife.
And has she been trying to have contact with Abby in between the jury trial times?
She has.
Okay. And on this last time, did you arrive and take Abby to the sheriff's office?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And was Abby visibly upset?
She was upset.
Did she, how were you able to tell she was upset?
She initially contacted me on a cell phone directly after the incident had happened. And she had called me a couple times actually previous to. We were grocery shopping and I wasn't able to get her phone call. But when I did answer the phone, she said that there was an incident with mom and that, she was upset. She was with my mom home. And basically, she just told me that there was an incident. And I told her that I would be there immediately.
And were you the one that drove her over to the sheriff's office to make a report?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall when the prior incident happened with her mother?
I do. So Abby had been performing for the band. She's a band girl, and she was performing, there on Main Street in Eureka, and there was an incident with Heather. Um, Pretty much what she said, jumping up and down, screaming and hollering, and making sure that Abby saw her, and that just making a scene over there.
Okay. Had Abby been subpoenaed to testify against her?
Yes, she had.
And do you remember when your subpoenas were for?
So there's been so many continuances in this case. It's hard without a timeline to sit here and note each and every one of them. The last incident, I know absolutely for a fact that it didn't happen the day before we had pre-trial on a jury trial. The time before that, it would have been within a few weeks, if I recall correctly.
And Your Honor, I would ask, the court number that I gave you earlier has transposed numbers. I'm sure it was just a typo. It's 235, not 325. 2024 TR 235. I'd ask the court to take judicial notice that the jury trial was scheduled for February 5th of 2025.
Paul?
Yeah, Judge, that is 24 TR 235. So no objection.
Okay. Council refers to that date. I'll take judicial notice of that date.
And has she contacted you or anyone else to try to have legal visits with the children?
No, she has not. If I may address the court, there's an active no contact order with all children involved in Miss Hunt. That is in due to her actions Her disruptive actions
Judge,
at
I'm going to
basketball
object.
games.
Judge, I'm objecting.
The question is or the answer is unresponsive to the question. Mr. Euler, you need to just answer the question that's asked, please.
Okay. And Mr. Euler, has she caused problems with your other children?
Absolutely.
Judge, I'm going to object on relevance.
Ms. Gillette?
Your Honor, it's basketball games that were about the same time that she tried to contact Abby before the last jury trial.
The objection is sustained.
All right. I will pass this witness to the defense.
Mr. Paul?
Mr. Euler, your previous testimony, you stated that Miss Hunt made these, I guess, public displays of affection for children at public events, correct? Yes or no?
She did.
Okay. And some of them were definitely time extended from any kind of jury trial date, correct?
I wouldn't say time extended, no. Within close amounts of time. They were short.
I believe your previous testimony was one of them was weeks before any jury trial, correct?
Yeah, that's a short amount of time for me.
Well, that answer is yes.
It happened within a
Is
short
that
amount.
answer yes or no, Mr. Euler, please?
You're gonna have to ask the question again. You got me confused now.
Okay, I'm not trying to confuse you, but your previous testimony was when Miss Gillette was talking to you, was she was asking you about previous jury trial dates, and you said one of them was a few weeks before the jury trial date, correct?
To the best of my knowledge, I believe so, yes.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Gillette, any redirect?
Not from this witness.
Very well, Mr. Euler, you are off the witness stand at this time. Any other witnesses?
Judge, the only other piece of evidence that I'd like the court to consider is that it was at the journal entry of pretrial conference on February 3rd, 2025. It is stated in the journal entry, and that is when the court reiterated its order, Judge Webster, that Ms. Hunt was not to be having contact with the kids, and that any of the official listed witnesses that were AE, and AE, because all the kids start with the first initial of A. Until further order of the court, she reiterated her order. That is in the last paragraph of the journal entry of February 3rd of 2025, because there was ongoing issues leading up to the jury trial. So that order is part of the record of 2024 TR 325.
325.
Sorry, 235.
All right. Mr. Paul?
Judge, I'm not calling any witnesses at this time.
Okay, so the state rests. Mr. Paul is resting. I'll hear closing arguments at this time. Ms. Gillette?
Your Honor, in this matter, the mother is only trying to have contact right before jury trials, try to sway the victim to have emotional reactions to her. This last one happened on May 19th. The pre-trial of that case was imminently coming up. The jury trial start date being May 21st of 2025, the pretrial conference to be happening right then. It's back to back with the jury trial. I believe it's an attempt to try to dissuade the minor child from wanting to testify, and that she knew she was not to be having contact. It had been reiterated to her in February that she was to have absolutely no contact with the minor child. And believe Judge, Webster's wording was absolutely no contact. She continued to do so. And that is when these charges were caught in May, right directly before the jury trials were to start.
Mr. Paul?
Judge, you heard testimony from Miss Euler. It wasn't anything that if we take her testimony as true, and I know at this hearing, the evidence is viewed in the light most favorable to the state, but I don't see any actions from Miss Hunt that she is trying to get her to change her testimony, to lie on her behalf. Miss Euler stated that these were, I love you, you're so beautiful, I'm proud of you, things that she has said on many occasions before, not in an attempt to try to dissuade her or do anything to try to get her to change any of her testimony. Judge, I do not believe that this rises to the level of an aggravated intimidation of a witness. This incident allegedly happened on a public street. Yes, it was the thing about it is there's been previous testimony that said it happened at a basketball game and then right after a graduation ceremony. So if anything, it's things that are public events that don't rise to the level of trying to get Miss Euler to change her testimony, prevent her, or attempt to prevent or dissuade her in testifying in any way, Your Honor. So, Judge, I would ask that you find probable cause is not appropriate in count 1 and dismiss that count.
And I think there's some trying to confuse the judge. The testimony was never that anything happened at a basketball game with Abby. That was a sibling.
All right. Counsel, there's one a complaint information that was filed, looks like on May 30th. That has not been amended. Is that correct?
It is not yet. I have a couple of amendments we're going to do. It says they're on about the 18th day in the first paragraph and the 19th day in the second paragraph. They should both be 19. And that traffic case number was transposed. So we'll be correcting that number, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll make your corrections now before I make my ruling.
We'll move to amend the complaint interlineation to be the 19th and the 235 on count 2. And we will file a written amended complaint journal to memorialize the changes, Your Honor.
All right, that will be amended. Count 2 is a charge as a violation of protection order as a Class A misdemeanor. That would not qualify in regards to a preliminary hearing. There's certainly evidence to that effect, but that's not a felony offense. Count 1 is aggravated intimidation of a witness. As charged, the defendant unlawfully and knowingly prevent or dissuade or attempt to prevent or dissuade with intent to vex, annoy, harm, or injure in any way another person, or an intent to thwart or interfere in a manner with the orderly administration of justice. And then the child's initials, a person under age 18. I've seen cases and read cases of that with that charge where there are symbols or signs that are made that would have that effect. There's no testimony to that in this case. The comments or statements of the defendant to AE there's no testimony that indicates there was some sort of a code or a meaning. Now, the prosecution orders, or excuse me, argues that the defendant's intent was to dissuade, but there's no evidence to support that. So I can't find that there's sufficient evidence for probable cause. So count one is discharged. I do not find probable cause in regards to count one. Count two, as I indicated, is a misdemeanor, so that's not for ruling. There was plenty of evidence in regards to that if it was a felony, but it's not amended, or that's not a felony. So so count one is discharged. Anything further today?
Judge, I would just like a breakout room with my client, please.
Well, we need to schedule this for another hearing. We don't need a district judge at this juncture because of, you know, she hasn't been bound over for on a felony. So this, I would be proposing we set this for a pretrial before Judge Webster at first available date. I'd ask the Missy, the judge's assistant, she has such a date that would accommodate counsel.
Set it on a Tuesday afternoon.
Only thing else I have is next Tuesday, but then the next 3 weeks we don't have misdemeanor Tuesday dockets.
Okay, well, we're set for jury trial and our other one in October. Or do we have a pre-trial date for that, Missy?
Yes, we do. It's September 29th, Monday morning at 9 o'clock.
Let's set both of these at that time.
Okay.
Counsel, will that work with you?
Yes.
All right. So September 29th at 9 will be pretrial on that. Anything further in regards to this hearing?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor, except for that breakout room if Missy would be.
And I don't have an objection to it if the assistant can accommodate that. However, she may have other duties where you'll need to contact her otherwise. But if she can accommodate it, I certainly no objection to that. But I don't know her schedule. So
understood, Judge.
Okay. With that, if there's nothing further, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Miss.
The court calls case number 25 RO 04470. This is people of the City of Royal Oak versus Christopher Charles Cameron. Is that you, sir?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Cameron, you were present earlier today when the court explained the informal hearing process to a full group. Is that true?
I was not during that process, Your
Very
Honor.
well. Mr. Cameron, today's the date and time set for your informal hearing. An informal hearing is just that. This is civil in nature. It is not criminal. Nobody goes to jail today on this ticket, but it's considered serious enough that Officer Link did issue the citation on the date in question, which was July 9th this year at 20 minutes of 6. You were operating a 2024 BMW X5 white in color on Washington Avenue at or near Mount Vernon. And at that place and time, you disobeyed a stop sign. The citation contains within the remarks section Officer Link's observation, according to the officer, that ran stop sign southbound on Washington, and apparently at least plus or minus the time of the citation, there had been a video capture. So the citation is simply disobey stop sign. You may, at your option, sir, admit responsibility. The court will attach the scheduled fine that will close the case. You may admit responsibility with an explanation that you believe mitigates your circumstances, or you may deny responsibility. That is your right and your privilege. If you deny responsibility, the court will swear both parties under oath. The officer will testify first. Then it will be your turn to testify and tell the court what you want the court to know about the episode. Then the court must make a finding of responsible or not responsible based upon the civil burden of proof, which is a mere preponderance of the evidence. So this is not guilt beyond a reasonable doubt territory, but simply 50-50 plus one. So as to disobey stop sign, do you admit with an explanation, or deny responsibility?
Admit with an explanation.
Very well. So you're confirming to the court that on that date in question, you were operating a motor vehicle in the city of Royal Oak and did disobey a stop sign, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. The court accepts the plea. What would you like the court to know?
May I share some video evidence?
Sure.
Cool. Let's give this a try. So, one of the things that I was concerned about, I did mention this at the time of the citation, is the stop sign controlling the southbound direction of Washington Avenue at Mount Vernon was fully obscured by overgrown vegetation located approximately 40 to 50 feet in advance of the intersection. Okay. The vegetation, as I'll show in this video evidence through exhibits A through C, prevents the stop sign from being visible to drivers who approach the intersection up to about 40 feet, Your Honor. So I'll show that in a moment. I've taken measurements. According to the Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices in Michigan, stop signs must be visible clearly from 100 feet under normal conditions. It's also Michigan Vehicle Code 257.608 requires that all traffic control devices be legible and properly positioned to be enforceable. So this is my first exhibit, Exhibit A. We can see here at 100 feet, there's no visible stop sign. This vegetation right here is the problematic component to, the visibility of the sign itself. If I go to the next, this is at about 45 feet, maybe a little less. Still no stop sign visible. We can see just the shade of a post at the bottom of the vision that's right at the intersection. I took a measuring tape. This is a 50-foot measuring tape from the stop sign to the place where I was just taking those photos. This is the measuring tape I used, a Lufkin. It's 50 feet in total. It's entirely strung out. I did notice when I went back, because I did call the city to trim it, it was trimmed. Matter of fact, what I found interesting is the homeowners actually put up sometime between the point I was ticketed and the point this was actually trimmed, an additional sign. They put a note to say, please stop. There's a stop sign ahead, because so many drivers, I believe, were not seeing it. I've never driven on that road before the day I was cited. So in conclusion, given the lack of visibility of the stop signs due to the tree obstruction, the conditions at the time of the citation didn't meet the required standards for enforceable traffic control. So I, respectfully request that this citation be dismissed in light of this evidence.
Okay. You had previously wished to admit responsibility with an explanation. The court accepted that plea, but at this juncture, the court will consider this as having been, in essence, a motion to retract that plea. So we are technically out of order, but Officer Link, we are going to convert this to a contested informal hearing. The burden of proof is yours. Please proceed.
Your Honor, at the listed date and time, different units throughout the day were assigned for traffic control in the area due to residents complaining that people were not stopping for the stop sign that is not only southbound but also northbound. That was used as the detour for the traffic at 13 in Main when you could not travel northbound on Main. During that time, sitting on the north side of Mount Vernon, it is a divided road. And I was observing the stop signs northbound and southbound. And at that time, witnessed Mr. Cameron's vehicle proceed through the intersection without stopping for the stop sign, Your Honor.
Okay. And the court is particularly interested in the speed limit on Mount Vernon. If you recall that, or strike that, the speed limit on Washington, if you recall that, and in that particular area of roadway. Officer Lake.
Your Honor, I believe it is still 25 through there. I would have to look because it does change from the north end. On the northern end of Washington is a paved road. That portion right there is a dirt road. I would have to look that up, Your Honor.
Okay. So that is at the road surface is dirt and or chip sealed at that portion, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you don't have any reason to believe this was cut through traffic in particular, but you are made to understand that there was a TIA because there had been cut through traffic. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want the court to know, Officer Link?
No, Your Honor. I think Mr. Cameron explained it very well.
All right. Thank you. Historically, Mr. Cameron, we did this in reverse. You don't really have the right to rebuttal, but is there anything else you want the court to know?
No, I think as Officer Link said, I do not disagree. I did go through the stop sign. I've submitted my explanation for that through the pictorial evidence through Exhibits A through C, including the additional exhibit that it looks like there were some folks who decided to take some stop sign traffic enforcement to their own hands at the property. And I don't know the speed limit on the road offhand, but if it is 25 miles an hour, if I do my math right, at 30 to 40 feet, that's about 1 second reaction time to a stop sign if you see it.
Thank you. Any motions before the court makes its ruling?
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to dismiss.
Okay, motion to dismiss. You don't have a problem with that, do you, Mr. Cameron?
I do not. I appreciate the consideration and the time of the court and Officer Link today for coming in. And again, Officer Link, thank you for your service.
Well, the court is grateful for your professionalism. Might you be an engineer?
I'm a data scientist.
Okay, then. That explains everything.
Yeah.
You have a great day, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
We're not completely through with the budget process here in terms of what else may be there. We do know that there are discretionary dollars we spend money to turn. The total budget for the general fund in Harris County is roughly $2.8 billion. What I consider discretionary spending is over $500 million. We've not even begun to vet the $500 million and whether or not we could find dollars there to support programs like this or other programs. So I don't even think we have enough data to think. We need to go to the voters because we hadn't fully vetted all the spending we're currently doing and what the cuts that could be made, should be made in some of those areas. So I'll not be supporting the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And to clarify, this expands the program. That's why it's 60 million. We have not been able to have any of the school districts, et cetera, pick this up. And counties indeed work on this, even Republican-led counties that went for President Trump. We have, for example, Escambia County here, it's Florida, Platte County, Missouri, of course, Travis County, Texas, but we already know this is popular. Commissioner Ellis, Commissioner Garcia, and then Commissioner Briones. And what I'm going to do is bring the kids here and ask each member yes or no. Yes, Commissioner Garcia.
Point of order. We are proceeding with the debate improperly because there's been a motion made, no second, and we're in discussion. So
I didn't make a motion. I just read what it's going to be.
no, you said.
No, I didn't
motion.
say, no, I didn't.
Yes, you
Okay,
did.
well, I take it back. Yeah.
Judge,
All right, thank you, Commissioner.
My education's important.
Yeah, indeed. Yes, thank you. Okay, Commissioner Ramsey, did you have something else to add? Commissioner Briones.
So yes, thank you, especially to all the kids who took the time to come and all the educators.
Kids, come on down. Let's see if she says yes or no. Come on down over here. Come on, because this is not about politics. This is about kids.
Judge.
Come on down.
Judge.
Excuse me, Judge Hidalgo.
Judge,
Part of education is respect.
Judge.
Excuse me, point of order with regard to decorum.
Yes. State your point of order, Commissioner.
that
Thanks,
this is
Jay.
in breach of the decorum rules, and I have the floor to speak, and I deserve to be able to speak without being interrupted, as we have been patiently listening to everybody as well.
Judge, we've been very lax on this. Certainly this meeting because of the children, but we're not supposed to have public demonstrations and excess noise, obviously from
Right.
from
Yeah,
the
I
audience.
normally
So
do that.
I
They've
just want to
stopped, so-
remind everyone. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So yes, thank you. As a mom of 3 little kids, as a former teacher, and as the daughter of retired teachers of 50 years, education is of paramount importance, period. Teaching our kids is of paramount importance, period. And this proposal came 2 weeks ago. The ARPA investment was always a one-time pilot for the contract slot proposal. So this proposal is 2 weeks old. When we look down the road in Travis County, they spent 2 years working with subject matter experts.
We spent 4 years.
Excuse me, Judge, please be respectful, at least to model
Education
the
is
behavior.
truth-telling. Don't give the kids this example of making things up. This has been going on for 4 years.
Excuse me.
4
Our
years.
children are here,
Judge.
so you should please try to be respectful and focus on the work.
By saying the truth.
Line is this half-baked proposal
4
did
years.
not have robust stakeholder engagement. It does not have a detailed program, does not have a detailed budget.
4 years designed with your office.
The program evaluation. The projects we're doing, which again was a one-time ARPA investment through 2026, and everything has been crystal clear on that. The evaluation done by a third party will be available next year in 2026. Is that correct, Director?
80-page evaluation.
That's correct.
Doctor,
There is an annual.
Is this an evaluation? Yes or no?
Point of order.
Judge,
Commissioner Briones has the
Right.
floor.
It's the first 2 years.
Judge.
We have to wait 20 years to know if these kids
Point of
graduate
order.
college.
Judge,
Point of order.
Commissioner Garcia, state your point of order.
Point of order. Commissioner Briones has the floor.
Judge,
Be a good example for the children.
yes, Commissioner Briones.
Is this how we're going to conduct court from now on? Because if this is how we're going to do it, we will do this again and we'll reference this case. This is how we're going to do court.
Okay.
This is totally against what we should be doing according to decorum. And I can't believe you're sitting there.
So if I may continue, please, without any interruptions. Again, this is about the process, not the policy. Childhood education, early childhood education, and education at all levels is of paramount importance. But this proposal came 2 weeks ago.
False.
We have been working with the Gulf Coast Workforce Board. This region gets $328 million, and most of it is invested in Harris County. The Gulf Coast Workforce Board is on first for early childhood education.
We're working with them.
Excuse me. We need to maximize. So these are federal dollars sent to the state, sent to the workforce board.
Not enough money.
Be optimized and scaled, and they are on first to set up a new program without a detailed.
We worked with
plan,
them to design
budget.
this.
Excuse me, please.
Falsehoods are not appropriate in front of children.
You should tell yourself that. In sum, education is non-negotiable, and there are federal state resources that as a region need to be maximized. So
enough.
just the way the 2-year Travis County efforts were incredibly
We've worked
robust.
for 4 years. They did not have proof of
stakeholder
concept. We've
engagement.
been running the programs for 4 years.
Can
They
we
have not even
please
started
stay
running them.
focused?
Judge, please, Commissioner, I apologize. Our rules don't generally apply to the 5 of you right now. But I do think it's very hard, both from the public's perspective and on the minutes.
Because
we need to have one
there's so
person
many
speaking at a
falsehoods
time.
and kids are here listening.
Yeah, we've listened
Our
to your
program ran for
falsehoods
4
the last
years.
hour.
Travis County
Your
did not have their
description of the
program
last
run.
hour has been full
Commissioner?
of inaccuracies.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner,
Ma'am.
Judge, one person at a time, and so Commissioner Briones has the
Thank
floor
you. If
right
I
now.
may finish my comments. In sum, the people deserve, if they're going to vote on something, it needs to be clear, detailed, transparent. What was a pilot project is not the same as instituting a permanent program. And if we're going to do something, we must do it right with deep deep stakeholder engagement.
We did
That's
that.
2 years or plus, not 2 weeks.
4 years.
So for those reasons, I will not be supporting this initiative, and I want to lean further on the federal and state government and the workforce board that they are well positioned to be scaling and maximizing these critical services. And as a county, we need to double down and maximize what we are legally required to deliver to you, which is public safety, public infrastructure, and public health. So this could be a both and, but we don't even have the independent evaluation on the pilot. That will come next year. So as someone who's committed to data-driven policy making, I would be happy to revisit this after deep, thoughtful, data-driven efforts that are robust. And so for that reason, I will not be supporting it.
This is the 80-page evaluation. Commissioner Ellis, I know you mentioned something this morning. I want to see if you wanted to bring it up.
I call for the question.
Judge, question's been called.
Yeah, there is
I
no
call for the
question.
question.
I didn't make a motion, but I do want to say, Commissioner Ellis, did you have
I
something to
call
add?
for the question.
There is no question.
Yes, there is.
I
Do you wanna
second
make
it.
a question?
I second the call for question.
Judge, if there's a motion on the floor, the question's been called, so it needs a motion, and then if you have to see if there's a second, and then you have to take a vote.
Okay, so kids, let me
Order.
ask Commissioner Briones, is she yes or no?
Been a second.
Is she yes or no? Are you
Second.
yes or no, Commissioner Briones? Here's the 80-page evaluation. Our program has been running successfully for 4 years. Travis
order,
County didn't
Jay.
even run a program.
Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt you. A question has been called. You made a motion. We have to call for a second for that motion,
Said I took it back.
and then a vote has to be taken.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna say, I'm so disappointed, obviously. On behalf of the thousands of families in Harris County whose babies 0 to 4 will stop receiving crucial education, and to think those families and their children will lose access to childcare and education because of political decision-making and a refusal to trust the voters to decide this important issue, there's absolutely no reason why we can't simply ask the voters what they would like to see. The program has been evaluated. The offices have been working on this for 4 years. I've been talking about a bond election since 2019. Unlike Travis County, we actually ran the program before putting it to the voters. We have been working with the Texas
Okay,
Workforce,
when a motion has
Houston
been
ISD,
made and it's been
and
seconded,
others.
and we have someone not
Okay.
recognizing the rules.
Let's
how do we
just move on
proceed
to the
with-
next item. That's all I have to say. And
Judge-
if you want to vote
Judge-
no in front of the kids, that's for
Judge,
you. Yeah.
a motion has been made. You have to call for a second. A question's been called on this. If there's no
They-
second, then we can move on.
I didn't make a motion.
Anthony seconded.
Okay.
What's the motion?
I heard you make the motion.
No, I
There's
said
no
I
second.
didn't make a motion.
Okay, so are you pulling the motion back? There's no motion?
I did not make the motion. I'm asking if my colleagues are yes or no for just asking the voters. Commissioner,
Point of
I'm
order,
yes.
Jay.
Commissioner Briones
okay.
is no. Commissioner Ramsey is
Judge.
no. Commissioner Garcia is no.
Ju-
Commissioner
okay,
Ellis is
sure.
no.
Judge,
It's
based on-
11:51. I'd like to call a 10-minute break. Thank you.
Okay, so the first video with Judge Washington, that girl was bizarre. She could not take responsibility for anything. Even when the judge called her out for rolling her eyes, she made up an excuse. I've got something in my eye. Yeah, right. You had nothing in your eye. You were rolling your eyes at the judge. I think the judge should have put her in jail. Personally, I don't think she should have been able to get the HIDA. Or if she got the HIDA, she should have had to serve, some time before she got the HIDA. Because that was bizarre. She could not take responsibility. It was crazy. Let's see. And then the one with Judge Lee, instead of the daughter being the one that couldn't follow the rules and the laws, this next one was the mom couldn't. She had a no contact order, but she didn't care. She did whatever she wanted. That was crazy. And then the one with Judge Ulrich, usually they don't win those. But he did it well. He did it right. And he showed those, non-see-through bushes. So I'm glad he won that case. I'm glad it was dismissed. That's the way it should have been, because it was, you couldn't see the stop sign. You really couldn't. So I agreed with that. And then I had to show that last one because that woman, she is a judge in Harris County, and she could not keep her mouth shut the entire time. She was interrupting with little snips here and there. She was using the little ones as a prop to emotionally blackmail the rest of the commissioners, which was completely wrong. So anyway, I put that in as a fun one because I was like shocked at how idiotic she looked and sounded. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you another time.